this channel, we ask everyone to please like, share, and subscribe. On Wednesday, July 27, 2049, the world witnessed a new kind of terror. 9 superstorms formed simultaneously, their wrath unleashed upon the Caribbean, Central America, Mexico, the southern United States, and the entire east coast of both the United States and Canada. These storms were unlike any seen before, their intensity magnified by a planet already in. The devastation was beyond comprehension. Entire cities were swallowed by the sea, and millions were displaced. The death toll soared as infrastructure crumbled under the relentless assault. The planet was in chaos, and humanity was on the brink. Hurricanes, typhoons, and cyclones merged into monstrous tempests, their combined power obliterating everything in their path. Coastal regions were particularly vulnerable, with storm surges sweeping away homes and businesses. Emergency responders worked tirelessly to save lives, but the sheer scale of the disaster overwhelmed their efforts. The once vibrant and bustling cities along the coastlines were now scenes of desolation and despair. Families were separated, and the death toll continued to rise with each passing day. The storms seemed to possess a malevolent intelligence, targeting areas that were already weakened by previous disasters. Despite the global devastation, China remained resolute. As the world mourned its losses and struggled to recover, China declared that the Chinese New Year would proceed as planned on January 23, 2050. In Shanghai, the epicenter of the nation's resilience, preparations were underway amidst a surreal atmosphere. The city was determined to showcase its strength and solidarity, even in the face of unimaginable adversity. The skies above Shanghai on January 22, 2050, were a spectacular canvas of orange and dark blue hues, a celestial battle of colors heralding the dawn of a new era. The Shanghai World Financial Center, a beacon of modernity, stood tall, its thick illuminating glass glinting like a sword. The streets below were filled with people going about their business, a sense of unease mingling with the excitement of the upcoming celebration. Across the globe, other nations watched in awe and admiration as China prepared to celebrate the new year. For many, it was a symbol of hope and renewal, a reminder that life goes on even in the face of overwhelming challenges. However, beneath the surface, there was an undercurrent of tension and apprehension, as if the world was collectively holding its breath, waiting for the next calamity to strike. The Shanghai World Financial Center, rising 101 floors into the heavens, was a monolith of glass and steel that pierced the city's chaotic skyline. It was once a symbol of human ingenuity and progress, its sleek, tapering design reflecting aspirations of reaching beyond Earth's grasp. But on this night, the building had become an ominous tower of secrets, its uppermost floor bathed in a sinister, pulsating red light that bled through the surrounding fog like a warning beacon. Its location, at the heart of one of humanity's busiest metropolises, was no coincidence. The center stood on a nexus of Earth's energy, a convergence point critical to the plans of the Anunnaki. Inside the 101st floor, the air felt suffocating, as though the room itself was alive and aware of the momentous decisions unfolding within. The council chamber, an architectural masterpiece hidden from human knowledge, was unlike anything on Earth. Its walls shimmered with a substance that seemed to absorb light and sound, pulsating faintly like the veins of a living creature. Symbols of an ancient, alien language shifted across the surfaces, whispering secrets only the Anunnaki could decipher. At the center of the chamber was a circular table, a construct of otherworldly craftsmanship. Its surface glistened like dark water, constantly shifting to reflect the moods of the room's occupants. Holographic projections hovered above it, swirling storms, erupting volcanoes, and chasms opening across the Earth's crust. Data streams in alien script spiraled around the edges, displaying humanity's faltering pulse in real time. The table was a tool of immense power, capable of influencing planetary forces with a single command. Ninkor Sog, the Council's enigmatic leader, stood at the head of the table. Her piercing silver eyes glowed faintly, their intensity magnified by the eerie red light. Her voice broke the oppressive silence, sharp and resonant. The time for indecision is over. The planet screams, and its cries demand action. But our methods must remain precise. We cannot afford the chaos to spiral beyond control. Her presence filled the room, a mix of command and cold calculation that sent chills through even the most resolute council members. Ninkor Sog, growled Orion, a towering figure whose dark armor seemed to drink in the light. His voice was a rumble, like a distant earthquake. Humanity's incompetence has brought this upon themselves. Our intervention risks too much. Let them learn from their suffering, or let them perish. The Guardian lingered in the shadows, a figure of indistinct edges and boundless depth. His presence was as cold as the void between stars, and his silence spoke louder than any words. Though his role was to observe, the weight of his gaze made the other Anunnaki uneasy. It was as if he alone carried the memory of countless cycles, each one ending in fire and ruin. The room grew darker as the debate intensified. The holographic earth in the table's center shifted, displaying fresh scenes of devastation, collapsing cities, tidal waves consuming coastlines, and survivors huddled in the ruins of their former lives. The Anunnaki's voices rose, overlapping in a cacophony of anger, doubt, and grim determination. The walls seemed to hum in response, resonating with the energy of their conflicting wills. Enough? Ninkor Sog's voice cracked like a whip, silencing the room. The light in her eyes blazed brighter, casting shadows that twisted unnaturally across the walls. We are not here to debate humanity's worth. The countdown has begun, and the convergence must proceed. Our purpose is not to save or destroy but to collect what is rightfully ours. As she spoke, the table's surface shifted, displaying a timer that pulsed ominously. The Anunnaki fell silent, their gazes fixed on the relentless march of time. The hum of the room deepened, the vibrations sinking into their very cores. The weight of their responsibility pressed down on them like a tidal wave. The Guardian stepped forward, his shadow stretching long and jagged across the room. His voice, soft but filled with an otherworldly resonance, seemed to freeze the air. Balance must be maintained, he intoned. Intervention will come at a cost. Be certain you are prepared to pay it. The room's silence became absolute, broken only by the faint ticking of the holographic. The Anunnaki, beings of immense power and ancient wisdom, faced a decision that would ripple across the universe. Outside, Shanghai's skyline glittered deceptively, a facade of human normalcy oblivious to the momentous decisions unfolding within the tower's hidden heights. The countdown ticked on, each second echoing like a heartbeat in the room. Ninkor Sog raised her hand, and the table's surface shifted once more, revealing a glowing map of Earth's energy grids. The alignment is nearly complete. We proceed at dawn. As the meeting concluded, the Guardian lingered for a moment longer. His gaze was fixed on the holographic Earth, its fragile beauty marred by scars of fire and chaos. For the first time in millennia, doubt flickered in his thoughts. Was this cycle destined to end as all others had? Or could something new emerge from the ashes? The Anunnaki dissolved into the shadows, leaving the chamber empty save for the faint glow of the hologram, and the relentless ticking of the countdown. The Shanghai World Financial Center stood as a silent sentinel over a city unaware of its role in a cosmic struggle. Humanity's fate was no longer its own, sealed in the hands of beings whose motives were as inscrutable as the stars. Among the shadows stood the Guardian, a silent observer. Unlike the others, he did not partake in the heated debate. He was an enigma, his role shrouded in mystery. The conversation around the table grew more intense, voices raised in fear and urgency. The Guardian's presence was a constant reminder of the gravity of the situation, his calm demeanor contrasting sharply with the frantic energy of the others. The Guardian was a being of immense power and wisdom, his purpose intertwined with the fate of the Earth. He had witnessed countless events unfold, guiding humanity through times of great change and upheaval. His role was not to interfere directly, but to observe and ensure that everything came to pass so the Anunnaki could retrieve what they sought. As he stood in quiet contemplation, the Guardian's thoughts turned to the Anunnaki's long history with Earth. These ancient beings had seeded the planet with the potential for greatness, only to see it squandered repeatedly. Their return signified both hope and judgment, a reckoning for humanity's choices. Despite his neutrality, the Guardian could not entirely suppress a sense of empathy for the human race. He had seen their resilience, their capacity for kindness and ingenuity amidst chaos. This inner conflict made his role all the more challenging. As the Council's discussions grew more pointed, the Guardian's gaze shifted to the holographic projections. He saw not just destruction but also glimmers of hope, an undercurrent of resistance and unity that had yet to be fully realized. Ninkorsog turned to the Guardian. "Your silence is heavy, as always. But the time for observation is nearing its end. Soon, your actions will speak louder than words. Are you prepared?" He nodded solemnly, understanding the gravity of what was to come. "I am ready," he replied, his voice resonating with a calm authority that silenced the room. The council members exchanged glances, their faith in the Guardian's role solidified by his unwavering resolve.